ho yay, please stop cheer spaces now. God save the Queen.
It's Sarah Gaytan from the National Federation of the Blind of the UK, and we're here today to absolutely campaign and ask Theresa May to U-turn on the shared space road design. A year ago, the Women and Equalities Select Committee report was published, and that called to an end to shared space because of the devastating effect it was having on blind, partially sighted and disabled people. And we've actually got 23 petitioners, 2 hours at number 10, to ask Theresa May to U-turn on the policy. And on the Mother of Days of Equality, when this Melissa Fawcett statue is being unveiled, 100 years later we're still marching for equality. Equality for access for all, to get road design that doesn't design disabled people out of it. And all we simply want is curbs and control crossings back. So Theresa May, please act on this Women and Equality Select Committee report. Do not ignore the women. Do not ignore the disabled people, and please act and fully implement this report, please.
How many blind or partially sighted people are with you today?
Well, we've got 23 petitioners, we've got 20 pan-disability people groups going in to see the Minister for Disabled People, and we've got 48 different organisations from across the UK, including London, on the petition to ask Mrs May to act on shared space road designs, to get them halted and stopped.
Hang on a minute, disability, equality, built environment, surely this was legislated years ago.
Definitely, but the thing is, the Equality Act is there, but the councils have still been ripping up control crossings, taking away curbs, actually saying that these schemes will cause problems for blind and disabled people, but still going ahead and doing it. It's absolute a travesty. It's caused chaos, confusion and chaotic scenes all across the UK.
What's the will? Have they lost the way?
I honestly don't know what to do. I think they're sold a dream that this scheme will actually improve their local environment, make it look pretty, but actually they're sold a nightmare that they can't control. And they have these horrible situations over the UK where blind people simply cannot access their town centres independently anymore.
This must be a huge embarrassment for the government.
It's even more embarrassing because this is the 8th time we've petitioned Theresa May to actually act on this issue. So the government has known about it for years.
Could that gentleman just step forward or step back? Yeah. The camera's facing you now. Have your say, sir. Introduce yourself.
Carl Farrell from the National Federation of the Blind of the UK. I think the issue is about streets where there's modern designs being put forward and implemented that take away crossings and replace them with courtesy crossings, that take away curbs and leave the streets flat, presumably so that everyone can be regarded as equal, pedestrians and motorists. But you can't have that because motorists have a ton of metal to fight with. We just have our bodies. But blind people, partially sighted people, older people who maybe are not so mobile, all sorts of people who are losing their sight or got children to shepherd across the road, they can't check and they can't determine whether drivers are going to stop for them. So these kind of situations just don't work for a large percentage of the population. And there shouldn't be things like courtesy crossings designed into streets and for the councils to presume that everyone can shop in a high street on both sides of the road. We want to be able to cross the road safely, and we want to be able to walk on pavement safely without the possibility that a motorist might roll up off the carriageway onto the pavement. Modern designs of roads, the ones that are being pushed in recent years, they are dangerous and they leave us out of society.
That is one thing I'd like to say. Theresa May's campaign of the year is loneliness. If roads are designed and public realms are designed that you can't physically actually walk there independently, this is exasperating loneliness. It's exasperating people not being able to get jobs because they can't get there on their own. So what we do a massive plea, they can't shop, they have to wait for people to come and take them out and robbing them of their independence. So what we do ask today on the Mother of Days of Equality is, Theresa May, please do not ignore the Women and Equalities report. It's published a year ago. Please do not ignore disabled people, and please act on these recommendations and ban shared space.
Ho yay, ho yay, ho yay, please stop share spaces now. God save the Queen. Ho yay, ho yay, ho yay, please stop share spaces now. God save the Queen. Ho yay, ho yay, ho yay, please stop share spaces now. God save the Queen.